Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Now, next, let's go to the next process of separation. Is the dye in black ink a single color? Now, that is an important question. That the black ink that we have, is it a single colored or it is a combination of various colors? For that, we need to perform a small activity, and that will clearly explain you whether black ink is a single dye or not. For that, we need to take certain things. What do? We first take a strip of paper. So we take a thin strip of paper. You can take a filter paper or you can take a paper cut from drawing file because they are thick and good absorber. After that, a 3 centimeter line is drawn at the lower end of the paper, and exactly in the center, drops of paper ink is added to it. So we add few drops of ink into it. I hope this is clear. Now what do? We take a beaker and we add water to the beaker so that the beaker level of water and the line completely merges with one another. Now in this case, we have colored dye as the solute and water is the solvent. Now this procedure or this setup of separating the colors of black ink into different parts is known as chromatography. Now, in this process, what is happening? Chromatography is a technique which is used to separate the components of the solute which dissolves in the same solvent. And the solute which dissolves readily and quickly gets absorbed faster, rises faster, whereas the one which absorbs slowly and not very readily in the same solvent does not rise higher. So in this case, what we would see that when we leave this system for a few hours, then the ink will start rising and they will get split up into two forms. So the component of the solute which readily dissolves in the solute water, in the solvent water, would rise up faster, whereas the component of the solute which does not readily dissolve in the solvent will rise lower. So by the difference of the rising of the different components of the ink, we will be able to separate the blank ink and identify whether it is a single color or not. So through this process of chromatography or the distinction or separation of the colors, we try and understand that ink, black ink, is not a single colored ink, rather it is a combination of many dyes together, which is dissolved in the same solvent water. And when we subject that ink to chromatography technique, then we see that the solute which dissolves readily in the solvent water rises up higher, whereas the solute which does not readily dissolve in the solvent water has low rise. And with this, we can distinctly see the different components of the dye. I hope it is clear. So you saw that the black ink that you write is not actually one single colored ink, but it is a combination of various different dyes together, which has been dissolved in the same solvent. And it is only through the process of chromatography that you will be able to separate it. So please do not forget the basic principles on the basis of which we do the separation.